Welcome to a cool little art video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about sketchbooks. What is the point of a sketchbook? What's the value of a sketchbook? Well, the problem is that every time we turn to the internet, say, and we look for, quote, inspiration, all we're met with is intimidation. And the reason being, of course, is because every time we see a sketchbook, what we see are perfect renderings, page after page after page of no mistakes, no accidents, and we think, gosh, how do they have so many perfect drawings? Well, I'll tell you how. That's a lie. Most sketchbooks are absolute messes. The reality is a sketchbook is there for you to express yourself. Take, for instance, what I'm drawing here. I happen to love the book Legends and Lattes, and I decided to draw a rendering of Viv. She's a cool character, and I really like the art on the front cover of the actual book itself. So I decided to give it a shot. The mini sketchbook that you see on the screen, I hand-bound myself using a kit off Etsy. It's really small and very lightweight, so I can throw it in a bag wherever I go, and I never have to worry about it weighing me down. And so this book often travels with me. Sketchbooks are not actually meant to be perfect. They are a place for learning. They are a place for experimentation. Now, there's nothing wrong with keeping a dedicated sketchbook that is literally for the purpose of finalized rendered drawings. In fact, I keep that type of sketchbook myself. But the thing is that typically what happens in a normal day-to-day art practice is that I'll use my sketchbook as intended to learn, to experiment, to draw, to look at something and just zone out and decide I'm going to reverse engineer that image and turn it into something cool in my sketchbook. And a lot of those experimentations don't turn out all that great. But that's okay. You see, every so often, through that process, I nail it. I get something I really love on paper. And then what I'll do is later on, I'll take some graphite transfer paper, I'll copy that image into my finalized rendered sketchbook, and then I'll render it even further and really refine the piece so that I can have that in a finalized collection. The reality of it is, you're going to open my sketchbook and find a whole lot of drawings that probably are not all that cool to look at. But that's okay. I think what bothers me most about how sketchbooks are portrayed on social media is that it puts this unneeded pressure upon someone who's just trying to leverage a sketchbook for the purpose of improving their art skills. Sketchbooks are casual. They're easy. They're more like a journal than they are an actual finalized piece of art. And that's what we're seeing a lot on social media, is that people will spend a lot of time and dedication to creating these beautiful pieces of artwork, page after page after page, and what you're looking at is not a normal sketchbook. In fact, I would argue and say in and of itself, it is a piece of artwork. And it should be marketed as such. It should be not sketchbook tour, but artwork tour, right? If you want a sketchbook tour, you know what you're going to find? A lot of mistakes. You're going to find not so perfect renderings. You're going to find accidents and experimentations. And every so often, you'll find a piece of gold, so to speak. Something you can really be proud of. On this channel, I strive to share the realistic aspects of process. Not just in writing, not just in how I read books or the types of books that I would consume, but also in the artwork that I'll execute. I think it's important to be transparent about these processes, especially considering the influence that social media has on so many up-and-coming artists. Whether it be that you have 10 years experience, 1 year experience, 30 years experience, I think there's something refreshing, not to mention needed, in displaying and portraying the reality of what it takes to actually get a halfway decent rendering. You take something like this, for instance, it's not perfect, it has its flaws, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And in reality, this didn't take 10 minutes. This took over an hour. It's not ultra realism, it's not perfect. What it is simply me celebrating a book I really, really like and drawing a character that I also really enjoyed reading. It really doesn't need to be more than that. So let your sketchbook be your own space. Let it be your own kind of journal. Let it be the place of experimentation, thought process, ideas that you just want to get down, thumbnailing, or just goofy, easy sketches. Make this space your space, not what everyone around you seems to think that it should be. And remember, you can always keep a separate book, one dedicated to highly rendered pieces. Set yourself free from the fear of the blank page. Dedicate yourself to messy drawings. Mistakes, mishaps, experimentation, who cares? It's your space. I also took the opportunity to do some lettering art. Lettering is as much art as anything else. Some people might avoid putting something like this into their sketchbook, but I think it's a good practice. Why not? If you're enjoying the process, do it. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.